Businesses all across the planet are looking to make connections with people. Well, guess what? Divine Connections magazine is helping businesses not only walk in their purpose and passions, but to get connected to their potential. That's right. You've got to connect to your potential, and you can make it happen now because it is time to know your worth. As you get connected to people all across the planet, Divine Connections magazine will make it happen. And get featured in the magazine today and get your copy now, because there's no other time than a divine time to get connected to Divine Connections magazine.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution, so get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now.
Great day, everyone. This is Dolores Williams with Divine Connections magazine. The magazine comes out quarterly in print as well as online. We connect with different businesses, entrepreneurs, gospel artists, pastors, praise dance, mom dance. We love making it happen, and we love sharing your good news with the masses. So if you're interested in being in the magazine, sharing your business or ministry, you can email at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com. And how can you stay connected with Divine Connections? Subscribe to our website to get all the updates and news at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. And then you can go to our Facebook page and make sure you like that at Divine Connections Marketing. We're also on Instagram. Follow us there at Divine Connections, one word. And then you can go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe and click the notification to make sure you stay connected of what's going on. So that's the Divine Connection. So Divine Connections magazine, where can you get the copy of Divine Connections magazine? Go to divineconnectionsmagazine.com/subscriptions, and there you just click on a button and order the current copy of Divine Connections magazine. It's only $12 if you're on one, and then we have options for more as well. Coming Saturday, September 11th, mark your calendar for Divine Connections 11th Magazine Anniversary Expo. We are looking for vendors. I think I have about 8 more spots left. We don't have paparazzi spot because we already have that's done and gone. And so if you do anything else, some exciting, creative, I would love for you to connect and get your business out there. Text 336-338-8903 and let me know what you do. And if you would like to be a vendor. Also, we do 30-second and 60-second commercials. And so if you're a business, a ministry, if you have a book, or you are a gospel artist and you would like to be a part of Divine Connections magazine, do that. But if you would like also to get a commercial done, we would love to do a cutting edge video for you as well. So Divine Connections magazine at gmail.com. You can email us there. Also, if you would like to be a sponsor on the program. So my interviews are on Wednesdays from 3 to 6 every Wednesday. And before or after the interview, we have sponsorships. It's only 30 seconds. And we'll run your commercial for 3 months for only $150. So we can help get your news out there to the masses. You can go right now to the website to get your ticket for Saturday, September 11th. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome. We have gospel artists, praise dance, mimes, food trucks, fashion show, vendors. We're going to give God the glory. We're going to shop, support other vendors, and then we're going to check out different ministries as well. And then we're going to eat real good, fun food and fellowship. So go ahead and get your ticket at $12 only. Divine Connection Magazine.com/event. Okay. And then if you want to stay connected, great things are going on. I want to connect with some people that's making it happen. I want you to be a sponsor. We have a sponsorship package, and that's 336-338-8903. If you're interested in saying, how can I connect with Divine Connections? We're here to make it happen. And then last but not least, for Divine Connection news, nominations is going on right now. We had over 277 people to be nominated, which is awesome. I mean, great people are doing great things in the community. And so we have until August 1st. Voting started July 1st and it ends August 1st. Go ahead and vote in every category in order to make your vote count. And we will see you at the event for only $12, and then you'll see the winners there as well. All right. So great. So that's all the Divine Connection news as of right now. Now listen, I am a homeowner. I love being a homeowner. And guess what else I would like to do is pay off my house. Anybody else would like to pay off their house? I know I would. So today I have a special guest, a financial counselor that's going to share some great information, some tips with you. But before we do that, we're going to go into a nice video and share some information with that. All right, so just hold tight and we're going to share this information with you.
Hello, I'd like to introduce you to a revolutionary program that since 2004 has helped thousands of homeowners all across America get ahead financially and on track to save millions of dollars in interest payments on their mortgages and other debts. And as a result, eligible homeowners are now able to pay their 30-year mortgages off in as little as 5 to 7 years, all without changing their current lifestyle and without any refinancing required. Paying off your mortgage is a lot like taking a road trip. However, instead of you choosing the route, the bank hands you a map with each and every turn they want you to take. It's an exact schedule of payments every month for 30 years. And the bank schedule is not the fastest route. In fact, their schedule zigzags and goes on for miles of unnecessary distance. Are there better routes? Absolutely. The closest distance between 2 points is a straight line, correct? Well, this program shows you the straight line and how eligible homeowners can fly through their mortgage in as little as 5 to 7 years. How does this program get you paid off so fast? Before I share the secret, I want you to understand that banks are very good at building wealth with your money. As an important part of their wealth building strategy, the banking industry has taught us to keep our money separate. What do I mean by separate? Well, we are taught to set up our checking and/or savings account and deposit our money over here. And we're taught to take out our loans and make payments to those loans separately over there, never combining our positive cash accounts with our interest charging loan accounts. But who benefits from this separate account structure more? You or the banks? To understand why we are taught to manage our finances separately like this, we need to understand some basic principles of banking and money and how it works. Each time we deposit and hold money in our checking and/or savings accounts, also known as deposit accounts, the lender makes money off of interest by lending our money out in the form of loans to borrowers. And each time we take out a loan, the lender again makes money each time we pay them an interest payment. So let's go over a couple quick examples of how our money helps the lending industry build wealth. Let's say, based on the money account holders like you and me have deposited in our checking and savings accounts, the bank lends out $5,000 to other borrowers in the form of credit cards. And while we earn close to zero interest on our money, the lender earns around 18% interest on those credit cards. That means that the lender was able to earn roughly $900 in interest annually based on our money, while we earn close to zero. As another example, let's say we take out a 30-year, $300,000 mortgage at 4.5%. 4.5% doesn't seem like it would add up to much, does it? But over this 30-year mortgage, we would pay over $247,000 just in interest payments. That's actually over 82% of the original loan amount you borrowed, just in interest. Quite a far cry from the seemingly reasonable 4.5% rate, right? By following this simple concept of holding billions of dollars worth of banking clients' money on one side, and then lending our money back to us with interest on the other, the lending industry is able to build tremendous wealth. Now think about this. With all things being equal, the more money we owe, the more interest they collect. And the less money we owe, the less interest they collect. So, if banks make more money based on the total amount we owe, there's one guaranteed way to reduce the total amount we owe immediately. What if, instead of following the bank's map of keeping your accounts separate, you could actually transfer or merge the money in your deposit accounts against your loan accounts, literally decreasing the total amount owed immediately. By doing this, it would instantly bring down the amount you owe, and thus reduce the amount of time and interest the bank has you scheduled to pay. Again, the less money you owe on your debts, the less interest you will pay, right? With that being said, we would now like to introduce you to the Money Max account. The Money Max account is a smart online financial system programmed with extremely effective debt elimination strategies. The Money Max account utilizes a standard checking and savings account and strategic financial algorithms to help drive its debt elimination strategies. With these financial algorithms, the system is programmed to constantly analyze and identify the most strategic debts to eliminate in the most beneficial order and timing. The system monitors your finances 24/7 and constantly calculates the specific timing and amounts of money to transfer from your checking and or savings accounts to strategically reduce each of your loan balances, thus lowering the balance in which interest accrues and canceling an optimal amount of time and interest charges on your loans. The debt elimination system is specifically programmed to help eliminate all of your debt, including up to a 30-year mortgage in as little as 5 to 7 years, while saving tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in interest, without requiring you to change any of your current budgets. The Money Max account is like having 100 accountants working 24/7, calculating and strategizing the exact timing, amount, and frequency of each transfer in order to achieve some of the greatest time and interest savings imaginable. And it's as easy to use as point and click. As you can see, you are now canceling out an optimal amount of time and interest charges with each and every step you take. And by continuing to follow the program's cycle of strategic transfers and deposits, you literally change your mortgage schedule, effectively canceling out tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars in scheduled interest charges, and accelerate the payoff of your mortgage and other debts to a fraction of their regular time. Now, do you remember our $300,000 mortgage example? The mortgage that would normally charge over $247,000 in interest charges over 30 years? By using our online financial acceleration system, this same mortgage could now be 100% paid off in as little as 5 to 7 years, paying as little as $68,000 in interest charges versus $247,000 in interest. That's a savings of up to $179,000 in interest and up to 25 years worth of canceled mortgage payments. And again, the Money Max account doesn't just work on mortgages. It also strategically identifies the fastest way to accelerate the payoff of all of your debts. We know that you and your family are unique, and no two homeowners' finances are the same. In just a few minutes, the Money Max account can tell you how much time and money you can save. Maybe your payoff is 10 plus years, maybe it's 7, or maybe it's 5. What's your debt-free number? What could you do with up to 23 to 25 years worth of mortgage payments back in your pocket? Imagine now being able to invest that money and earn interest instead of just handing it over to the bank. It's things like this that change our financial future. and puts a big smile on people's faces. Of course, you can see why the creators of this award-winning program have been featured in magazines such as Broker Banker, Real Estate Investor, and Success from Home magazine. They've also won the Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year Award in the financial services category. Be sure to get back with a representative who sent you this video and ask them to run a free savings report that will show you just how much time and money this program could save you. What's your debt-free number?
Awesome. 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 What is your debt-free number? And so with that being said, please welcome Mr. Brian Nays. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely wonderful. Better than I deserve. How are you?
I'm doing well. I know that's right. Better than I deserve. Awesome. Awesome. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself and where you're from, and then we'll get into it.
Okay, great. Well, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina, which was at that time a very small little town, but now it's the big city. Which is the way you and I met. I was a singer on the road for, I don't know, about 20 years, and then of course, got my life together. And got into ministry. And then I got into this thing where my wife and we run a teen center, a small town, Camden, South Carolina, with only 7,500 people. We have 200 to 300 teens a day that come through the center doors, and we're at a 90% ratio. Those teens go to college or to the military. So we're very excited what God is doing with that ministry. Then from that point that got me to this point here is we always create classes. I'm sorry. Okay. We're always creating classes. And one of the things that our kids were very excited about was the documentary that's gotten a lot of popularity now, which is Black Wall Street. So our kids begin to, we begin to explore some different things. And how can we look, how can we make things better for ourselves and our children? The Bible says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. But most of us cannot do that because it's like we get to that point of that, home ownership. I did it. And others would like for us to believe that that's the end of the race. Now you just pay for that and refinance 2 or 3 times. I get some new letter every day. Refinance this and that, and, so on and so forth. So basically, I was already in financial planning on the other side, and I've always wondered how it would be to pay off debt. And so now since I began to study and I found the right program, now I'm excited again because I'm watching people. They see we call it that debt cancellation day, and not to mention we can do this for churches as well. We're really excited about the opportunity. I don't want to be that guy that say, hey, granddaddy left us a house, he left us some cars, but he left us all the debt as well. That's really where the fighting comes from. But I want to be that dude, that, hey, he left us, no debt is here. Here you go. You got a leg up. It hurts me that I wasn't able to do this for my parents and some of the older members in my family. But, when I got into this, and because I will tell you, sometimes it's talking to to people don't believe it. I go back to the scripture when in Genesis when Adam said, "I hid from you because I was naked." God said, "Who told you you were naked?" Right. That's the same thing with these mortgages, and who told you that it takes 30 years to pay it off? Who told you that? So it's going to all depend on which report you believe. We have the proof, the software, and there's an interview I'm going to send you where we actually interviewed a banker and said, can you do it this way? Everything that was asked of him, yes, you can do it that way. So it's nothing illegal about it. It's your money. I mean, think about it. I
looked at they just didn't initially tell you that, though. You had to ask them. They don't just pull it out. You have to
ask the questions, yeah. But let's look at Wells Fargo, who was just, by the way, sued for a number of billions of dollars, but there's still $1.8 trillion in assets. All you have to do is look at the banks. And I wish we had time to go into some of the things that we teach our students, like 1909, Jekyll Island. You know, people, I cannot believe the number of adults that I speak with who still believe that the Federal Reserve is something with the federal government. It has nothing to do with the federal government. These are bankers, and these bankers have trillions of dollars. Their kids are going to go to the best colleges and everything, you know, but who told you that your kids couldn't do it? Or who told you? You know, so when you start believing and looking into programs like this, you'll find out that it works. Like a few people that have already bought the system, and they're teaching it to their kids, never to be broke again. To me, debt is a sin. I mean, think about the thing. How many times have you walked, let's say, not even just your home, how many times have you walked in your church and said, if I had all the money in the world, I would do this, or I would do that? Well, you don't need all the money in the world. You just need your money. You know, you just need your money to work for you. And when you don't have, if you could think, I wish people now that are listening, imagine 1 month, someone came and said, you have no bills this month, just 1 month, and no mortgage, no car payments, no student loans. You would be surprised at all of the things that people can do with just 1 month. But if your debt cancellation is in 4 or 5 years, and you're young like you know what I'm saying? So now you got all of those months that you can do the things that you feel like God is laying on your heart to do. Put your money away for college for your children. I mean, the debt. Look at the. I was listening to an interview the other day, and this guy is not much older than me, and he was talking about how his first semester of college was $600. Well, I sent my son to Coastal Carolina University, and the semester was $22,000. So if you don't get in front of this thing that we call money, you will always be listening to what they said rather than reading up on things and killing this demon called debt. And that's pretty much what we like to do, is to teach you, because it's not just your mortgage. The same works on credit cards. It works on student loans. And we take the whole person. We're not just saying you're going to be out of your mortgage debt in whatever amount of time. You are going to be debt free totally. So that's the program in itself, and that's who I am.
Awesome. What was the question about your debt? What is your what was that major question he ended up with at the very end?
Mostly what, I don't know exactly what he said, but mostly people say, you know, what is your debt cancellation day? You know, we like to say we're going to cancel. This is the day, you know, that, I mean, how cool is it? You know, you see the churches that are burning mortgages. How cool would it be when you burn everything? You know, we try to teach you to go to the point to, and there's so much more that we do in debt with that, because we teach you how to, like our kids now are recreating Black Wall Street. And so we teach you how to keep your business and your, you know, your personal separate, you know, so that you can, you know, if that business, hopefully, God speed that it don't, but if it did, you know, then that's not going to hurt you personally. So we're all about you getting out of debt personally, so that you can do some of the things. What would you do? You know, let's go back to that 30 days. What would you do? Would you travel? Would you take the vacation of your life? You know, would you put money away for savings? What would you do with just that 30 days of not having to pay bills? And but the biggest thing is that some of the things that we do, some of the hurdles that we have to overcome in this business is going back to what God said to Adam. Who told you that? A lot of our people believe that, you know, we fought so hard to be a part of the mortgage and this and that and whatever. It's like, okay, I'm here now. I'm not going to let you mess it up. Yeah. Well, who told you that it should take 30 years, you know, to pay that off? And when you start listening, we teach you these strategies. And most people, when they finally get involved in it, they're like, wow, you're kidding me, you know. But I've yet to have a person that hadn't thanked me. So I thank God.
I know that's right. Yes. Awesome. I know my experience with buying a home, I loved it. The experience, the first time home buyers, went through that whole experience and saw my house getting built from ground up at the age of 27 as a young person. And I did do a 30-year mortgage, and I've been there about 12 years. So my next goal is to have the house paid off, because I'm like, I don't want to pay the house off 3 times more than originally what I could pay. I want to pay for the house one time, and that interest then come to me, and then I can do whatever I want to do with it versus going to the bank and paying them. I want to be the bank. I want to be the one that get all the interest. So let's go over those strategies that you were talking about how to cut a 30-year mortgage down or whatever year they have. Give me a couple of strategies that your system helps with that. Because you have heard that if you pay 1 month, well, I have heard 1 month extra a year, that would help. Or if you pay $100 a month extra, that will help. So go into that a little bit.
Well, one of the things, and I proved this to a friend of mine the other day, one of the things the banks have gotten really smart at is all of these different strategies that people try to use to pay off their mortgages. One being, pay half on the first and half on the 15th. Well, that worked for a little while, but I showed that to a friend of mine. I won't call my mortgage company's name, but I did it, and I put half of the money in the account, and I'm gonna see if I can pull it up just to prove it to you. They'll put it in a place called unapplied funds, which means my money is just sitting. It's not helping or hurting me. And then when I pay the balance of it, the other half of it, then of course, then they give me credit for that payment. So so that strategy definitely does not work. One of the better strategies I've heard was that paying it ahead. That all works as well, but there's so many other pieces to the program, which is understanding, your due date versus, what date they're charging you interest for. So getting in front of these days, in front of these dates, is what's going to really help you pay your not just your mortgage, your other bills off very quickly. And it's going to also the same money. Now you got to remember, we're not going to. Every person is different, but when we're talking to a person or when I'm speaking with a person, I'm only going off of what they tell me. This is what I pay every month. Not add $100 to it or add $500. These simple strategies, you're going to start saving money the first month. And as that extra money that you're putting into your savings account, it's going to eventually grow. Within 3 months, I grew my savings account. I had an extra $2,200 in there. The system alerted me, okay, now go ahead and pay off, put that on the principal of your car. It cuts so many months off. And of course, when you talk to the people, they're going to try to sell you everything. Oh, you can buy this, you can get CDs, but no, I have a purpose. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm getting you out of the way. So I knocked so many months off, and I talked to them, I entertained them, but also knew it really didn't matter what you said. So those strategies are going to, every time you do it, and when you save so much and you hit a lump sum here or a lump sum there, you'll begin to see it. It'll be in the top right-hand corner of your account because you have your own software, and it'll show you what you're saving in interest, and you'll start watching these balances come down. Now, you know how we do. You have to really talk to people. Okay, guess what? Your balances are going to come down. Well, that's one of the things that keep your credit score very high, because your balances are coming down. That don't mean go and buy the next Lamborghini, whatever. Stick with it. I mean, you can do it, but you got to put it in the program. You're just going to keep falling in the cycle. But this cycle is to get you out of debt. And like I said, you'll be so familiar with your software, and it's click and point. Pay this, deposit that amount into your savings, pay the mortgage. Everything is, a child could do it. So that's the best part of the program, is you're not learning this. You're paying the same payments, with what you're doing, and you're just using the bank's strategy. And no, you're not going to be very popular with the bank. I'll tell you that now, because you're going to come out of the riffraff of, what you saw in the video. I let my money sit there. Why they tell you to get the separate accounts? So that money, usually people don't touch their savings. Well, guess what? That's great money for them to lend out to other people, So I could get in depth of some other things that are going on. But you have, regulations kind of hinder us. But I would urge your listeners to look up the bail-in. Everybody's heard of the bailout banks. Look up the bail-in program.
Okay.
And how that takes from you, but it gives the bank. And that was done in during the mortgage years. But there are so many. And when I brought that up to a banker friend of mine, did not want to hear it. They gave me the old thing. They tried to be God. I said, "Who told you that?" I said, "Because I read. I'm that dude. You can't put it in front of me and say we don't read. No, I'm going to read it.
Right.
You know." And when I read that, and I said, "Are you telling me this program allows? How would you like? Let me do this without breaking the disclaimer of what we can and can't talk about. How would
Okay.
you like to be? You're in the business now. You have
Mm-hmm.
your magazine. Let's say you have 1,000 subscribers. Okay."
Mm-hmm.
How would you love to have a business that is federal law that says you decide how much money you decided you wanted to make this month? And if
Mm-hmm.
you didn't make enough, you can get it from your clients.
Mm.
Kind of cool, isn't it? Well,
Mm-hmm.
but we listen because someone told us that, and we
Yeah.
read no more of it. And
Mhm.
I've ran into some strange habits.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is breaking the habit of
Mm-hmm.
what we've been told. We had a young couple,
Mm-hmm.
believe it or not, their student loan debt was higher than their mortgage. They were paying more in
Oh, wow.
interest on their student loan debt than the
Mm-hmm.
mortgage. So they were over a $500,000 in total debt. And
Oh,
when we
wow.
sat down, it took about two or three to sat down and strategize this, but it still broke them down that they would have been out of debt in a little over 8 years. You know the
Oh, wow.
answer we got? Your program is too expensive. And we showed
Mm-hmm.
them in the very first 2 months how your interest that you were going to spend in interest would have already paid for the program. But that's what we're taught. And that's how, that's just how it is. I still cannot stand away from the ministry of what I feel like I've been led to do, which is getting our people out of debt. So
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep on. I mean, I had another one, a family member, that, he didn't think the program was right for him. He didn't even, he couldn't see where he could squeeze the monthly payment to get into the software. But it was a few days later, he brought me a boat brochure to be back in more debt. And I'm like, okay. So we run into it all, but we also run into the people that thank us over and over and say, man, gosh, but when I'm 58, I'm going to be able to travel, because I'll be debt free. And the most people, like a lot of people you hear, they say they're excited about retiring and things like that. Most of the people we get are so excited that they're going to be able to keep on working for a little while, and
Mm.
all of their money, as we call it, goes to the HIP National Bank. And that's
Yeah.
what I'm excited about.
Awesome. 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 Well, if somebody's interested in the program that you all offer, I'm going to put your number out there and also just tell people how they can get connected with you.
I'm the easy dude. Just call me. It's not going to be, I may be busy because we got a lot going on, unfortunately, in the business that we have. We have to deal with our young people that are, some of them are not going the right way. And I want you guys to be in prayer, because we had one of my 14-year-old babies was shot in the stomach the other night. So we have to go to the school and do some things, So I may miss you, but if you leave a message, it's not going to be anybody else call you back. It's going to be me, and we're just going to have a conversation. Unless the boss man, if you hear my grandson, he is actually running the whole house.
That's
He's
okay.
downstairs, and I hear everything he's saying, right? But he's got this thing when he gets in trouble and you ask him what he did. He's 4 years old now, and he'll tell you, I don't speak English. So I hear him saying he must have did something, because he's down there telling my wife he don't speak English. But other than that, that is actually my personal phone number. As you can see, I'm in my home office here at my house. It gets busy sometimes, but just be patient with me. But it won't be anybody else call you back but me. Just leave me a detailed message, and we'll talk about your situation and see what we can do to help you, meet your debt cancellation day.
Awesome. 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 Any last encouraging words?
I would say, even if it's not with me, please, I would ask well, here's the first thing. If you have time, go to YouTube and pull up The Creature from Jekyll Island. The Creature from Jekyll Island is the thing that happened in 1909 with the banks and everything. And when you begin to look at that, you're gonna just say, you ever had that thing where you say, man, something is wrong, something's not right. You're gonna have that, and then give me a call. And it's no pressure. I can do your financial analysis. It may take 15 or 20 minutes. I'll send it to you. Won't pressure you. I've never called anybody back that didn't ask for a call back. So it's not going to be someone calling you and, hey, look, bye. It's not going to be that. We're going to give you a day or two to look at that, and you decide. One side is going to be the way the bank scheduled for you to pay everything off. The other side is going to be the debt cancellation. And from that point there, if I can do anything to help you, I do have a couple of partners. So, someone else may. And I will let you know that at first, who's going to finish it up. But I'm going to be the person that call you back.
Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. So we have Mr. Brian's number on the screen, 803-729-7801. Call him, ask him questions, find out more about the program he provides. Be a homeowner. I love going home. It's so peaceful. It's so peaceful. I love having a home. I love watching it be built, and I love not paying a lot of money out because I got the first-time home buyers opportunity, and so you don't have to pay an arm and a leg. I have a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, built from ground up, and the mortgage payments are wonderful. I do want to pay it off, but it's not outrageous. I think sometimes people pay too much, but that's just me,
Right.
But go check out Mr. Brian and become a homeowner and get out of debt. What is your debt number to get out of? And then enjoy the rest of your life. Go travel, go shop, be happy. Life only comes around once, and make the most of it. So that is Mr. Brian. And so definitely stay connected with him. And I am Dolores Williams with Divine Connections. Make sure you guys stay connected to the number one divine connector, which is Jesus Christ. And so thank you, Brian, for coming on. And hold on tight. We'll go to our sponsors, and we will talk to you guys soon. So hold on, Brian. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hey, we've got exciting news from Divine Connections Marketing Services. Now you can create your own custom video commercial for your business or organization. It's time for you to win. Your product or service is someone's solution. So get the attention of your potential customers now. Choose from a 30 or 60-second commercial today. Just email us at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com and we can get started. Connect today and let's get started making your custom video commercial now.
Awesome.
Divine Connections Magazine. Get major exposure for your business. Is someone looking for your service? Do you need networking? Are you a gospel artist or a ministry? Do you have a major event that you want to promote? Divine Connections Magazine has the solution for you. We can distribute to residents, businesses, churches, and online. Don't miss this opportunity to expand your marketing locally and around the world. Find out more about us at divineconnectionsmagazine.com. Get your spot in the next issue of Divine Connections Magazine by emailing us for details at divineconnectionsmagazine@gmail.com.
Make sure to like us on Facebook at Divine Connections Marketing. Follow us on Instagram at Divine